Hello witches, welcome to tonight's broadcast. It's a very special one, especially in our current climate with so many issues surrounding money and more witches doing money spells so they can be financially secured or to get out of financial ruin that they may have dug for themselves. Just because you are in a financial hole right now does not mean you can't get out of it. Yes. If you are currently in the pits with your finances and you are the type of witch that is doing money spell after money spell after money spell and those money spells are not working, you need to be on this live broadcast or you need to watch the replay for this money spell tip. Because as a witch, this is very important. As a witch, you should not be going through life the hard way. People who are not witches go through life the hard way because they are not witches, which of course is not our problem. We only introduce the craft to people who are genuinely interested in having real significant and permanently positive change. We do not introduce witchcraft to people who want to play with it or want to be like Sabrina the Teenage Witch or want to be like the movie The Craft. No, we introduce people to witchcraft who want real significant and permanently positive change, because no witch should be in financial ruin or in a financial hole, even if they put themselves in financial ruin. Even if your ruined finances are your own fault, guess what? You can still get out of it. But there is so much work, and it's not really a lot. It's not so much. It's not too much. But it is work, because we know that spells, rituals, hexes, and curses only work if you put real world action behind it. If you do nothing, you will have nothing. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to do something for a spell to work. So when it comes to money spells, when you first do a money spell, you want a lot of money. You want to be a millionaire. You want to be a billionaire. You want that Maserati in your driveway. You want that Tesla in your driveway. You want fame and fortune. You want to have your pantry full of food. That's great. Every witch should have that. Because when you become a witch, you should not be going through life the hard way. The key with money spells is that you have to know when to say yes and say no to yourself. That means what I talk about in the beginning of all money spells is stick to your budget. Stick to your budget. If you know you can't afford that Maserati, don't buy it. It's not like you could put it on layaway. Pay it off monthly. No. You have to pay it right there and then. You know that? You can't put a Tesla on layaway. You can't put a house on layaway. You can't put expensive clothes like Chanel, Versace, Gucci on layaway. You have to actually have the funds there. You can have the funds there if you learn to say yes and say no to yourself. By listening to your intuition or listening to the God or goddess or deity or familiar or ancestor or spirit animal that you work alongside when you do witchcraft. That's it. If you just go on your own understanding, should be going through life the hard way. No witch should be going through life the hard way. Everybody else who is not witches, they can go through life the hard way. They have problems. They have generational curses. Witches know how to break generational curses. Other people don't know. The Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, they don't know how to break generational curses because they are not witches. Learn to say yes and say no to yourself. Starts with this. No, I don't need that. No, I don't need that right now. No, I can have that later. Saying yes to yourself. and yeah, I can afford that. Yes, I can buy that now. Yes, I should buy that now. Yes, I can have that right now. Learn to say yes and say no to yourself. This is how you keep money spells going in your direction. This is how you keep money spells and money, like physical money, flow in your direction and into your hands. That's how you do it, by learning to say no and say yes to yourself. I'm not saying you have to cheat yourself or, go on elaborate spending sprees. No, you don't have to do that. But you need to know when to say yes and when to say no to yourself, or you will always be poor, broke, living in poverty, living below what a witch should be living at. As witches, you should not be going through life the hard way. You should not. Everybody else can go through life the hard way. Everybody else can be financially ruined. Everybody else can be in financial hole, but not witches. Not witches. Witches do money spell for numerous reasons, and those reasons ought to be their own, but mostly it's to be financially secured or to get out of financial ruin. To get out of financial ruin, especially in our current climate, with inflation going up, you're going to need money. You're going to need money. You can't keep having this mantra in your life, things will change, we shall overcome. No, you need it now. You need it now. You need it now. But you have to know when to say no and when to say yes to yourselves. If you can afford it, if you won't lose a ton of money, like a ton of money, then go ahead and buy that Tulsa. If you're going to lose a substantial amount of money, do not buy that Tulsa. You know which way to go by listening to your intuition, listening to the God or goddess or deity or ancestor or familiar or spirit animal that you work alongside tells you to do. Now, if you choose to go on your own understanding and ignore those voices, then of course the responsibility falls back on you, and it becomes you choosing to be financially ruined. You're choosing to be poor. You're choosing to be in poverty. It's a choice now. Because everything supernatural that you work alongside, you ignored, or you did it halfway, or you thought you knew better. If you knew better, you wouldn't be in financial ruin. If you knew better, you would never have dug that hole of financial destruction in the first place, right? Right. Right. So this was my tip live here on Instagram. I'm going to post it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter on how to really make money spells work. So thanks, guys, girls, witches, people thinking about becoming witches, for joining me on this live broadcast. And with that, I release you into your night. Bye, everyone.